welcome back to Life with C. If you guys are new, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you check out my last video. In my last video, I described some of the struggles. I also went into some of the ways that I like to manage my time, how I manage my time being a student athlete. In today's video, I want to talk about misconceptions that they do not tell you about college basketball. So talking about that transition from high school getting into college. I also noticed that a lot of my viewers are 18 to 25 and a little bit older, so I'm trying to attract the younger audience. So I'm hoping that if this video stumbles across you, or if this video is recommended for you to watch, I just hope that it's informative, and everything that I'll be speaking on is coming from my experience, and it's also coming from interacting with different people and learning about different people's stories and gaining insight from other people's experiences and journeys. So if there's anything that you disagree with, anything that you would like to challenge, that is why we have a comment section. And let me know if you guys are open to seeing a part 2. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Everyone was the star at one point. Coaches aren't going to bring someone on their team who they feel like aren't going to help them in some sort. Whether it's they're a good student, whether they hustle on defense, whether they're willing to sacrifice their body and always take a charge, whether they talk a lot, they're a good communicator, whatever it might be. Coaches, they go to schools and they tend to recruit the best players, and whatever that might mean or look to them. So just keep that in mind, coming in with a humble mindset. Usually when you're in high school, depending on what high school you go to. So for me, I went to a high school that wasn't known for basketball, so I was the star player. But as you move up and as you continue to experience with different levels of basketball, you will understand that everybody's talented. Everybody has been there, done that. So now it's just a matter of you having to restart and find a way to stand out. Now it's time for you to prove yourself all over again. So don't go in thinking I'm gonna be the star, I'm gonna be the show. Everybody has been there, done that. And in some cases it might work out. Sometimes people they have a different outcome with that. Sometimes people genuinely are the best on their team in whatever aspect that might look or mean to the coach. But always go in with a clear mindset and really use the summer to focus on your weaknesses. Really use the summer to rejuvenate, to recover, so that when you get into that transition, your body is prepared for it. Your mind also needs to recover, and you need to be prepared to go into a new environment, learning new things, and really adapting to that step or that jump from high school to college. The second thing is that hard work alone will not get you on the court. I'm speaking primarily from experience. Playing time is a discussion I feel that you should have with your coach, but I also think it's just you having a conversation with yourself and being honest with yourself. What can I contribute to the team? Whether it's scoring, whether it's IQ, whether it's sacrificing your body, like I said, doing the things that other people might not want to do or that people don't like to do, doing the dirty work. Those are things that's going to get you on the court. But also, if you're in a situation where the team is already stacked with stuff like that, you have to be consistent in practices. So speaking from experience, I'm not always consistent in practice. I tend to use practice as a way to work on my weaknesses. So in practice, I'm not standing out because I'm making so many mistakes. At the end of the day, coaches are looking for consistency, and they're looking for players that they could trust. So if they feel like they don't trust you, you're not going to play. So just because you're showing up to all the practices, just because you're a straight A student, that's not going to guarantee you minutes. At the end of the day, you still have to show up and you have to perform, because it's a competition. At the end of the day, you're competing for minutes. So just keep that in mind, that consistency in practices, consistency in games, all those things matter when it comes to distinguishing how much playing time you're going to get. The third thing is that you're not alone. I think a lot of people, once they graduate from high school, they get hit with reality, like, damn, like, this is life now. But you're not alone, especially when you come to college. There's always going to be resources. There's always going to be people that want to help you. All these different resources is all about if you're willing to tap into those resources, if you're willing to say to yourself, I need help, let me go get help. So if you're not willing to sacrifice time to better your understanding of something, no one's gonna hold your hand like they might do in high school. It's just a different type of ball game. It's really important to weigh out your options. Don't just go somewhere because someone is gassing you up and telling you, hey, when you come here, you're gonna be the star. When you come here, you're gonna be that. Not true. Because at the end of the day, a coach's job is to win. It's to bring in championships, because if they're not winning, the money is going here. So you have to be mindful of that. They have other recruits, they have other players that they're looking at. They probably done told other players the same exact story that they're telling you. Before I came to Purchase, I visited Farmingdale, I visited Old Westbury, I visited a whole bunch of other schools. I had a conversation with teammates. I asked, how was your experience playing on this team? How was the coaching here? How was the community here? Are people showing up to practice? Are people good students? What is the team GPA? All those things, you should never be afraid to ask questions either. If those questions can't be answered, then that's not the place for you. Another thing is, don't underestimate yourself. Don't think just because you've been playing a certain level all your life that you can't adapt and play to a higher level. So a lot of players coming out of high school, they go JUCO because they feel like going JUCO is going to help them get a D1, D2, whatever their aspirations are. You're never going to be ready for anything. Not settling for less and challenging yourself in some sort. If something is too easy, if you're too comfortable, then that is not the right environment for you. You need to be challenged. You need to tap into your weaknesses. That's one of the things, that's the main way you're gonna grow as a student, as a person, and as an athlete. And speaking from a student athlete perspective, if you're the best on the team, you're not necessarily growing. There's no challenge in practice. If you're understanding everything, if the coach is giving you the green light to do whatever you want, that's gonna hinder your growth. So if you're in a position where you're no longer the best on your team and now you have a bunch of talent surrounded by you, now you're in a position where you need to adapt, and it might feel uncomfortable, but it's relative to your growth. It's also important to be realistic. So again, if you've been playing at a lower level all your life, maybe it's not ideal to go D1 automatically. Maybe it's a good idea to weigh out your options again, see if there's other things that might be available. But what I mean by don't settle for less is, don't tell yourself, I can't go D1, I can't go D2, because anything is possible, but you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to do the things that you don't feel like doing and that nobody feels like doing. And ultimately, that's over time, that consistency is what's gonna make you stand out. So it's okay to transfer. I've been to 3 different schools. It's okay if one thing is not working out for you, and it's okay to say no. I kind of like to treat being on a team as like the real world, having a job. If you're in a position where you're dragging yourself to practice, when you're leaving practice, you're happy. If you're dreading it, if you're dreading being there, if the environment is causing more harm than good, and sometimes you might not recognize it because over time you're just like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing myself. But then you're putting your mental health at stake, and you're causing yourself to lose love for your sport. I don't see any shame in leaving somewhere to go to somewhere better. I don't see any shame in saying this is not for me, but this is. There's always going to be things that work for someone and things that don't work for someone. So it's all about finding out what works for you. So transferring is okay as long as you understand what comes with transferring and the cost of transferring, starting all over again, learning to adapt, building trust. It's just a cycle of life. So I really hope that these tips were helpful. I'm open to making a part 2 if that's what you guys want. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Again, if you haven't seen my last video, check out my last video. September is also Suicide Prevention Month. Make sure you guys lean on the people that you love, hold the people that you love close, and make sure you're taking time to yourself. At the end of all my videos, I like to give a quote of the day, and the quote of the day is, you matter. Take care, guys.